Hi everyone and welcome to the 80th episode of Japanese Phonetics by Dogen. In this lesson we'll continue to look at pitch accent in everyday suffixes. Like the previous lesson, some of the suffixes that we cover today can be a little bit difficult when it comes to grammar, so I'll only be covering basic meaning for each suffix. And not talking about each suffix's origin or origin word and how said origin word can differ in meaning from the suffix itself. Again, the rules in this lesson are aimed at people who already know how to use all these suffixes in question. Okay, with that out of the way, let's look at suffix number 1, this. Now, this has many different variants, and today we're only going to be covering 2 of them. The 2 common verb variants that I think most intermediate and advanced learners are familiar with. The first of these is the kake, which attaches to verbs to mean still happening or still taking place. And an example of this would be yomikake no hon, which means a book I'm still reading. So, yomikake means still reading. The second of these variants is the kake, which also attaches to verbs but means is about to happen or is on the verge of happening. And an example of this would be tsuburekake no kaisha, which means a company on the verge of collapsing. So, tsuburekake no means on the verge of collapsing. So pitch accent. Both the still happening kake and the about to or on the verge of happening kake combine with verbs to create heban compounds. So even though yomu or read is an atamadaka verb, when we attach kake to express still reading, we get the heban yomikake or yomikake no. And when we combine the heban tsubureru or collapse with the kake to express on the verge of collapsing, we get the also heban tsuburekake or tsuburekake no. Again, the still happening kake and the about to kake combine with verbs to create heban compounds. Here are some native recordings of verbs combining with these 2 suffixes.
Yomikake no, yomikake no, yomikake no, 食べかけの、食べかけの、食べかけの、飲みかけの、飲みかけの、飲みかけの、書きかけの、書きかけの、書きかけの、やりかけの、やりかけの、やりかけの、つぶれかけの、つぶれかけの、つぶれかけの、切れかけの、切れかけの、切れかけの。
Again, both the still happening kake and the about to kake combine with verbs to create heban compounds. Alright, next suffix. Chu. This suffix also has many different meanings, but the one that we're going to be talking about here is the one that combines with common nouns to express the meaning during or currently or within. Let's look at a few examples of how this suffix is used. The Japanese word for morning is gozen. And if we combine this word with the suffix chu, we get gozenchu or gozenchu ni, which is commonly translated as during the morning. One more example. One of the Japanese words for work is kinmu. And if we combine this word with the suffix chu, we get kinmuchu, which essentially means currently at work. Okay, pitch accent. As you may have noticed, this suffix also creates heban compounds. So gozen becomes gozenchu, gozenchu ni, and kinmu becomes kinmuchu, kinmuchu ni. Here's some native recordings of chu compounds you're likely to hear in everyday speech.
午前中に、午前中に、午前中に、勤務中に、勤務中に、勤務中に、仕事中に、仕事中に、仕事中に、食事中に、食事中に、食事中に、授業中に、 授業中に、授業中に、工事中に、工事中に、工事中に、検討中、検討中、検討中。
Again, the during, currently, and within, 中 combines with nouns to create 해방 compounds. Okay, next suffix, ju. This suffix has the same kanji as 中, but is read as ju and combines with many common nouns to express the meaning all throughout or all over. So, sekai, or world, combines with ju to create sekai-ju, or all over the world. And hitoban, or one night, a night, combines with ju to create hitobanju, or all through the night, all night long. And just like the previous two suffixes, this suffix, ju, also creates 해방 compounds. So, sekai becomes sekai-ju, or sekai-ju-o, and hitoban becomes hitobanju, which is commonly used without a particle. Here are some native recordings of common ju compounds that you're likely to hear in everyday speech.
世界中を、世界中を、世界中を、一晩中、一晩中、一晩中、日本中を、日本中を、日本中を、一日中、一日中、一日中、一年中、一年中、一年中。
Again, the all throughout or all over ju also combines with nouns to create 해방 compounds. Okay, and finally the last suffix, tate. Here we're talking about the tate, which combines with verbs to mean this verb just happened. For example, yaku, or bake / grill, combines with tate to create yakitate, yakitate no, which essentially means freshly baked or freshly grilled. Likewise, tsukuru combines with tate to create tsukuritate, tsukuritate no, which essentially means just made. And just like all the other suffixes that we saw in today's lesson, tate also creates 해방 compounds. Thus, the 해방 yaku combines with tate to stay 해방, as in yakitate, yakitate no. And the nakataka tsukuru combines with tate to create the 해방 tsukuritate, tsukuritate no. Here's some native recordings of tate compounds that you're likely to hear in everyday speech.
焼きたての、焼きたての、焼きたての、作りたての、作りたての、作りたての、揚げたての、揚げたての、揚げたての、炊きたての、炊きたての、炊きたての、茹でたての、茹でたての、茹でたての、出来たての、出来たての、出来たての。
Again, the just happened tate combines with verbs to create 해방 compounds. Okay, let's get into the summary of today's lesson. 1. Both the still happening kake and the about to kake combine with verbs to create 해방 compounds, as in yomikake no and tsuburekake no. 2. The chu, which combines with many common nouns to mean during, currently, and within, also creates 해방 compounds, as in gozenchu ni and kimmuchu ni. 3. The ju, which combines with many common nouns to express all throughout or all over, also creates 해방 compounds, as in sekai-ju and hitoban-ju. And 4, the tate, which combines with verbs to mean just happened, also creates heibon compounds, as in yakitate no and tsukuritate no. Alright guys, that's all for this episode. I hope that you found it useful. I had originally planned on covering a few more good-to-know suffixes in the next lesson, but I've decided to switch to verbs, specifically heibon verbs instead, as I think it's important to expand on this topic a little bit more. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I look forward to speaking with you all again soon.